Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm playing another game of Monster Train and I'm just gonna random and see what we get. And this time I'm gonna do some live commentary. I don't know how good it will be, but we'll see. So as our starter we got a Hellhorn primary with Umbra secondary, both exiled, which means that I get Queen's Imps, which are and Plinks. Um, yeah, Plinks are pretty much the weakest card in the game because they don't reliably give you morsels and they only do 1 damage twice, so in the early game they're pretty strong in general, but you can't take armor trials with them, so there's still a trial that you might miss out on. And Queen's Implings, they take up floor space if they don't die. Ooh, and I have Shardtail Queen. So with Shardtail Queen, I'm not sure if a morsel plan is smart. I do have space prisms, which is nice, so I have some extra floor space, so I can play more imps. Morsels don't trigger rally if I take the rally queen. Infernal is potentially nice if you upgrade it and just use that to clear a bunch of the floors and just use your champion to murder some bosses, but then you'd still need to find a way for it to scale survivability. But let's just click OK and look at the relics or artifacts. Conserve energy between turns is kinda interesting, and the other one is more spell power, which makes all these plinks deal 8 damage instead of 2, which is a bunch better. I'm not sure if it's worth 1 energy and a draw though. The kind of Seraph we're up against is the one that consumes spells, which means, because I start out with a bunch less spells, because I have these 2 molting imps, and 5 Queen's Implings, which would be spells in another type of starter deck. I do have 2 consume cards there, I could dupe those maybe. So what I need to think about is how am I gonna, because I'm probably gonna get some good spells along the way, and I'll need to play a spell before I play the good spell. So for instance, let's say I want to play Inferno regularly in the final battle, which is a good plan because it would take care of the units that give you Scourge cards. So I still think this is better because it powers up the cards that I don't want to remove right now, or at all. I might remove some units at some point. And here's another tricky one. So I could either make Imps free, which is like half my deck, which would free me up to play the Inferno more easily, and it would also give me Queen's Implings and later on Fledgling Imps, which this isn't Seraph the Chaste, so the Fledgling Imps will actually help me scale up. And I do have extra floor space, so I could get a unit, put it on the floor, get some extra floor space along the way, and start playing imps on that same floor to buff the floor. So the question becomes, do you want to end up playing a lot of bottom floor, or at least on the final battle, do you think that bottom floor is smart? I think with the Inferno, if I can draw out within like 2 turns, then it will probably be better to just play the Infernos on the bottom floor, because the first 2 turns are just very weak units, which you can clear with spells or with Queen's Implings or whatever. And then after that there's gonna be a big, there's gonna be some heavies, and then the Infernal would take over. So you'd need to find a way that you can draw enough or have enough. So if you have like 21 cards and 7 draw, then you can guarantee that you'd see it before the 3rd turn and then give it holdover -1. And that means that you can just guarantee. Then an alternative is to give it holdover -1 and duplicate it, so it doubles the chance of you seeing it very early. But I think this is the better one here, because the fledgling imps might be nice, and I could just keep on going towards the armor imps if I find a card that lets me remove imps. And I kinda do need a frontliner unit, but as I said, armor trials are pretty much a no-no, because I don't have enough damage dealing, unless of course I get lucky and draw my Inferno at a good time. So the top floor got size reduced. I think I'll play her middle floor and just give her that, and it makes sense to play this and this. And I think jump blocking is smarter. And now I do have enough of these, maybe. Well, I can just play this and be guaranteed. Yeah, so at this point, this is guaranteed to die, and I do want some extra floor space so I can play some train stewards or whatever. And over here, this means I deal more damage, and I block some damage on this dude. And now I have some extra energy for next turn, because on this floor the one imp was gonna survive, and I didn't want to boost the damage of that imp. Didn't seem to make sense to me. Now I have Infernal, but it doesn't make sense to play Infernal to me. Yeah, so this guy has some extra damage, so it's probably smart to play it like that. And just end turn like this. I don't know how I'm gonna defeat this boss. Okay. He doesn't have one damage dude in the back. And this floor does 32 damage. And he's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4 hits before he kills. So that's 80 damage. And I can play Train Stew to increase that by 2 more, so that's 120 damage from just this dude. And then there's some damage from this. And let's just play these. So I can... yeah. No, that only gives 4. So that didn't matter. But I can play an extra green's Impling here. And just guarantee the whole spiel. So this extra floor space is kinda nice, because you get to play all these extra imps there. But I still have too many imps and stuff, right? Because I did play a whole bunch of them, and I still have 1, 2, 3 left in the deck, and the Train Steward. So I'm gonna want to remove some of these units and look for a unit that I want to play. A unit that maybe scales with some Rage Imps or something like that. This would be floor clear, but I kinda have an Infernal for that, and I don't want more imps. You could say the Welder Helper would be a good pick. Oh, Entomb Assault with the Welder Helper would have been kinda silly. If you can put Endless on the Welder Helper. I think Entomb Assault is good regardless, and I already have 2 Space Prisms. If I want more, I could just dupe them. And this gives me more options. I don't think Umbra units are gonna be a thing in this run. And there's a Hellvent, or no, there's a Merchant of Steel and a Banner here, so I think I'll combine those and maybe get something good. So there's Quick. Normally Quick is best on sweep units, and yeah, Maybe dudes that give rage when they kill. That could be good. Or I could use this as a tank. Though this is a 3-pip unit and I'd rather take a... But the problem is that you... Well, maybe multi-strike on this dude is not as important. So I could take this dude, make him quick and try to put some life on him so you could frontline for a bit. Because the rage helps with the fledgling imp stuff, right? It's extra rage, so you scale more. Yeah, so I think I just give him quick and a plus 25 so he can stay alive a little bit. I'm just doing this to survive the next 2 battles, and yeah, well, I do have enough jump blocking with the Queen's Implings, and once I have the fledgling imps, maybe I'll be able to do a bunch more damage. At the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. So I do have Inferno and I do have Blinks. The Queen's Implings also might help with that, and the Molten Imps definitely. So basically, only these 6 cards of all my cards don't help. Well, and the dead weights don't help, so I have 16 cards that do help. But I also have to think about these waves, because I do want to incrementally lower their health and maybe take care of the trusted priest. So do I feel comfortable? Because I'd have to put these 2 down, so that's already 1 energy burnt, and then I can use 2 energy to clear a floor or whatever. And the imps are free. I guess the question is, do I need the money? If I go for the Merchant of Steel, I kinda do. And I also would get Pyramid, so that's an option. To just take the plus 20 health over there. Do I want the Merchant of Steel? Well, it doesn't make sense, because I already double upgraded the unit that was relevant. And so I think I'm gonna go for a dupe and just get another Space Prisms. Maybe look for the Ranged Brute over there, so I don't need the money. I'm overthinking this a bit because I don't want to look silly on YouTube. So I got a space reduction on the middle floor. I could play on the bottom floor. He gets Rage 4, by the way, so he ends up with 18 damage on round 1. But that still doesn't guarantee me the kill unless I play him in the back, maybe. 18 plus 20 is 38, plus 10 that I could deal with this dude is 48. So play him in the back, and yeah, he has quick, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. And play this and just see what happens there, and then just play like that. I think that was a pretty good turn, but I do open myself up. Okay, it's fine. So I have an Entumber Assault here. There's 2 things I want to do. I think because these are free, it's probably a no-brainer to just play those. And oh, he's quick, so he doesn't get the slay. Right. Okay, maybe it was not so smart to give him quick, and this was also not so smart, I think. Whatever. Still can play. Wait, I can play this here, which only does 8 damage, and then 16 plus 8 is 24. So that's not enough. I'd rather give some lifesteal to my train steward there, I guess. So I think I'm just gonna put some jump blockers down over here. I don't want to play the molting imp, I'd rather draw into it, if that's even possible, and it's not, but whatever. So space prism here. Let's play this. Yeah, I did not get lucky. It's a bunch of damage, and I guess I'll just play Train Steward here. Yeah, was a bit unlucky that I didn't hit the dude that attacks, so now my wave died pretty easily, and I also didn't get any rage triggers from the... Okay, it's easy. Yeah, so that's why Inferno is pretty nice, but you do want to get some spell shops on it, so you can make it good. So in theory this is just free damage to the entire floor, but in the final battle you need to deal 10 damage to the entire floor. So you're gonna have to upgrade this at least. Well, it's only a 25 gold upgrade, but you could just double cost this down and actually do some damage to heavies as well, and just keep duping it maybe. I don't have spell shop here. I had one here of course, but Umbra Banner didn't make sense. And I do have spell shop here, or Merchant of Magic. I'm sorry if I'm confusing some terms sometimes, but whatever. Welder Helper might make sense, and I think for now it actually does make quite some sense, because I had an Entomber Assault. I think I skipped these. I have a... Yeah, I don't want to play morsels, I'd rather play imps. Yeah, so I'm going over here, looking for the ranged brute or whatever. Nope. And duplicate. This doesn't make sense yet. I do think more floor space makes sense. When you have to dupe, you just do it. And okay. I think these are always pretty dumb, because it means you either sacrifice a whole wave. Well, this is purge, so it's free health in a way, but it's still sacrificing a whole turn of energy. Maybe if you have that relic that gives you +3 to X cost cards, but yeah, I don't like that event very much. But that's maybe just me. So this dude gets armor on Slay. I gain rage on Slay. I think you play it like this. But then yeah, I think that's fine, because he's quick, so he murders this dude, he murders the imp, which is fine, and then he murders that. So that's fine, so I get to put some damage on the boss. That's 16 damage already, which isn't huge, but it's kinda cool. So I'm gonna guaranteed play that there. And now the question becomes, do you have to jump block with the Train Steward? And it looks like I do, but the difference is kinda minimal between the Train Steward and just using 2 of these. But it's kinda... yeah, okay, it's pretty good, because he now doesn't get... he loses 1 rage, by the way, so I can pretty safely play this. Although, I don't know. Not sure, because he'll go to the middle floor. Yeah. I think this with an Entomber Assault makes some sense. So I can play some of this. And I'll just play this here. And then the question becomes, because this would give him 25 armor, and this would prevent that. Oh no. Yeah, okay. That's kinda dumb of me. Do I want to play the Train Steward now or later? I think I'll play it now. Whatever. Yeah. I should have played the imp in the back, probably. Well, surely. And this way I survive. And I think I'll just play these two to get some damage in. Another question is, do I want to put some chump blocking down, because I kinda expect the relentless part to start very soon. You might just do one more turn of not being relentless. And okay, I think I'll just take an imp or a morsel here. I can play it there. Doesn't really make sense anywhere. Well, I guess it makes sense if I put a train steward in front there. He doesn't get the... He does get the kill? Wait, what? +5. No, he kills this. So why is there... Oh, that's because of the... Yeah, the healer gives him some heals. I always forget that those work on bosses. So this is not a lot of damage, because I didn't skill rage very much. I think this run is pretty much not gonna work out very well. Maybe there's a different way I needed to play this, I don't know. I guess maybe I should have just gone for an Umbra unit and looked for ways to abuse how strong those morsel units are against bosses. And then use the Inferno. Oh. So this is 100 damage, which is a bunch more than this floor will ever do. But I won't draw it again, and I think I'm dead. Let's think. No, I don't think I'm dead, maybe. 4 hits, 4 times 7 is not dead. So I'm not dead, but I'm not really... My defense is lacking severely. This doesn't solve that, this doesn't really solve that. I'm not sure. I guess this could solve it somewhat. It's a unit to put in front, but then I'd probably need to take space, which is alright. Use the space prisms just to play the morsels out. I'm just not doing damage either though, because I'm not scaling his rage enough. And I'm not gonna be drawing a lot of cards. I feel like I'm probably gonna lose this, which is fine. You can't win them all. Well, you can technically, I guess. Probably. Hopefully. But I can't. So I'm gonna cast down this thing. I don't want to permafrost. I could put consume on a plink because they're pretty bad anyways. Didn't get holdover. And now the question is, do you just cast it down again and start duping it? And I think that's the play here. Yeah, I don't think so, because they... Yeah, they're not good in this situation. So kill all units, or imps I mean, and deal damage. That doesn't work against relentless either. So I think this is gonna be the better plan, to just get some fledgling imps going, which will help skill the brute, or the branded warrior. I say Brandon warrior because some other YouTuber kept calling them Brandon warrior. I think it was... let's think about this. He's not gonna get a kill, but I'm gonna get an imp next turn. But I don't want a top floor, because they get +3 every time they go up a floor. This is gonna attack first, dealing 18, so 28, which is not enough, and then he just kills the frontliner. That's not good. Could at least put a train steward here. Yeah, this also guarantees me that I will Do you put this in front or in the back? I think in the back, because he does have a better base damage. And I think you just play this here, because now they don't deal a lot of damage, and next turn they will deal well, +3. So now I have this option here, and because she was dazed the first turn, I didn't get a fledgling imp yet, which means that next turn I will be able to play those. And I think I murdered that floor already. So the question is, do I need to work more on this floor? I probably do, but let's just make sure that they both are low enough. Well, that floor has a healer, so that might be kind of iffy. The nice thing about this all is that he will die. He is quick, gives rage to everyone, and then he just hits that dude. So that's kind of what I want to see. And I'll play this one there, so I stop the healing and do some extra damage there. And this is a bit of an iffy floor, so I'll just use the consumer one to make things a bit lower. Oh, I can actually just use... I think I want to keep it like that though. I can just use this, but it reduces my... yeah, because he kills this, but they hit twice. So maybe I'll just play this Queen's Impling here. That Impling will survive. I kill this with quick, and the other two without quick, because this one already has a bunch of damage. Does it make sense to just remove that floor? I don't think so. I think I just skip here, because I do want to keep getting those slay triggers. And now these two will die, which is fine. Get another one of these. If I play this, the front dude will get armor, which doesn't make too much sense. So I'll play this instead and end the turn. So as you can see, I'm not playing the plinks at all, even if I have the energy to play them, because so I can play a armor imp now to give some survivability to this floor, then a rage imp. So the rage imp still dies, so I can play that next turn. Just play that, deal some damage. Here we go. So yeah, I don't really like plinks at all. And I got pretty lucky here with the Entumbra Assault. So I guarantee that I have some space next floor. Yeah, I'll just play these to remove them from the deck, but it's not really a big deal. And here we go, some extra rage. And they don't even make it past the welder helper, so all this extra armor that he got. I think I'll need to give him double health upgrades. This dude would have been better with multi-strike then, considering how I have an external source of rage, which makes multi-strike better in general. But yeah, I didn't get multi-strike then. Okay, so there's reliable imp removal, which means I can go for, well, possibly reliable imp removal, because I can get holdover on this and make sure that I can play armor imp and remove him every turn. And then there's two options. I could put endless on this imp or get the final upgrade on this lady. The alternative is get this with reusing consume cards, but I don't want to play that many space prisms, so that doesn't make sense. Move unit to the front. It's 10 armor, but with the imps being up front, that's gonna be annoying. So I think this is the play. And I also have some other removals like Entumbra Assault, so I could just fish for the endless first, and I do need a unit shop anyways for the armor dude, so I think that's pretty good. Do I need more energy, because that's really the only card I want to look at right now. I might not need extra energy, and it's a consume card, but that's okay. Yeah, I do need more consume spells, by the way. Seraph the Chaste. Yeah, so here removals line up with the steel shop, which is kind of nice. I think you remove train stewards here, even though the plinks are also very silly, but I can just try to put consume on most of them and just use them to consume anyways in the final fight. So I don't want to remove the plinks. The Queen's Implings are pretty dead draws, but they're free to play, and it's still chump block damage. So it's the train stewards. And after that I don't know whether I need a lot more removals. So endless on Welder Helper is ridiculous, because it means I don't need to take that final upgrade. I can take rally or kill all units on the floor. They're both equally useful. I think rally would be a little bit better, but I have all the rage going, so maybe it doesn't really matter. Damage shield 3. I don't know. Against this Seraph, that's just one turn. If it even stays until Relentless. So I think I'd rather just look for a big health upgrade here. And multi-strike, there's something to be said about giving him multi-strike with the setup that I have, all the rage and stuff. Oh, there's this one. I think I'm just gonna leave, because in general you have to pay 4 times, and I only can pay well, I can only pay coins 1 time, and then I'd have to pay 15 health when the total is 42, but that's just too iffy. And the relic that you get from that, I think the odds of it being good enough in this situation to save you, maybe I'm in a dire situation and I should have just taken it, but I think Spell Shield is a bit annoying with the plinks, so I didn't take it because I don't think it would have saved me often enough. There's Harvest dudes here, which means that I need to somehow clear the floor. Well, the Brandon Warrior, the thing is, they spawn with 2 in front, and then 2 small dudes in the front, then 2 small dudes in the back, and if you kill the small dudes first, he gets 2, or maybe it's even 3 small dudes. That means he gets 30 extra armor before before you even attack him. And then the question becomes, well, I think you have to remove those with Queen's Implings and stuff, but then the question becomes, aren't you even giving him more armor? Because, well, Molting Imp would be the most optimal solution, but they aren't. So I'm probably gonna get some heavies that get to pass me, and I think I need all the spell damage that I can, so I don't like Spell Shield 2 there. Middle floor got size reduced, bottom floor is a no-go, because I didn't get my frontliner yet, and I did get a Space Prism, so I think I'm just gonna double plink here. So now he did get bonus armor. He also got hit by 2 plinks. Oh, so it was only 2 dudes in the front. I might be thinking of a different battle. Maybe I should have put her in the back. Not sure about that. And an additional problem is that I'm gonna be playing Imps that I want to die. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do enough damage to this guy here, but I'm definitely gonna need some help with that dude. So when dealing damage to, okay, this is a kind of nice card. When dealing damage to these dudes, you either want to kill them, and if you can't kill them, the pyre is doing 30 damage, so you want to make sure they take as little turns as possible. Now this had two dudes in front of him that gave him +4 damage. So I kinda want to see if I can murder him like that. And maybe like that. Yeah, okay, that did the trick because now he didn't die. Because this dude didn't attack, so that attack of his wasn't the +1 difference, it was just that he didn't get the armor from that dude dying. Now, which of these floors is the hardest? It's obviously this one. And then the question becomes, do you play a Molting Imp here? Molting Imp, Transcend Imp, and then Consumed? Well, I can't play all three of them, right? But I think Molting Imp and then this card might help me get a Slay on this dude. No, it doesn't matter too much. Because, okay, I did get space upgrade. Yeah, it didn't matter too much. So playing this will give him plus armor. How close am I to not getting the kill? Well, this is 5. And I still have this dude that I'm gonna play, so I think I'm pretty solid here. And I'm just gonna play it like that, I guess. Okay. Yeah, extra energy next turn is fine. And this is gonna supercharge that dude a bit, but I need to take care of that frontliner. So I don't have holdover on my important work yet. It's a tricky turn, I think. So I think it's probably smartest to Entomber Assault this dude here. Still have 3 energy, by the way. I'm just gonna give health, I guess, to that dude. And then here... Yeah, so I want this dude to have the first hit to murder that. So I probably need to do some of this. Yeah, but then, okay. I might be okay here. I'm gonna have to think about it. So if I play this here, that's not even enough. How is that not enough? I can't just play this here, right? I'm not really scaling his armor too high at all. Maybe if I remove this and play the armor imp up front. I guess, wow. I'm dealing 142 damage to the backliner and I'm still not clearing it. That's kinda sad. I guess I'll just play these here because they're not useful to me right now. So I'm taking a bit of damage here. I'm taking 8 damage, which when you have only 42 is pretty bad. I think the play here is to just play this and play him here in the back. I'm not so sure about this one. Okay, he takes 1 turn to kill this, then 1 turn to kill this, so I have at least, and this one gets up to, so 2 turns there, 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and this gets an extra turn, this gets 2 extra turns, so this one gets 6 turns, this one gets 5 turns. 5 times 70 is 350 and 6 times 40 is 240. So it might be okay, but it doesn't make sense to not just play whatever we can here. I'm going a bit slow. Okay, it's Because this dude isn't doing anything for me right now. It's either Rage or this dude, and I think 20 armor makes a bit more difference, maybe. But I like Rage more. Let's just go Rage. It doesn't matter, because I was already killing him. But it was nice to recognize that I still had some leeway in how I was gonna play that last turn. And I think I really need to get Transcend Imp. It's gotta be Transcend Imp. And now I'm gonna have to look for Endless on Transcend Imp. It's the nuts. Yeah, so this is where it gets a bit tricky, because there's a Merchant of Magic with removals. I don't have to get removals, but I don't really have enough money to. But I do have a Pyre Health problem, so I'm gonna take Pyre Health. When you play a spell, everything gets reduced. That doesn't make sense in this deck, because everything costs 1. And I don't have that, so I'll skip. Maybe that card that gives you... Okay, there's no Endless here. But I do get to reroll for Endless, because it got some money from the things. Upgrade the unit with rage 7 doesn't really make sense. And I think I just want health on this dude. So it's just a reroll here and pray for Endless. Oh my god. So it's the Endless Imp run. And I have money for the 25 as well. It's still not guaranteed, I don't think. But it's pretty close to guaranteed that I might win this. There's always the situation where you just draw your stuff in the wrong order. And the downside of Transcend Imp with a Welder Helper is that you have to play him in the back, so you have to find ways to kill him yourself. Oh, top floor got size reduced. I tend to forget to check that out. Okay, so he did rally here. He's either gonna do Incant. Wait, he was rally and Incant, I believe. I tend to forget that. Looming Dark Shard, Incant, yeah. I don't have a lot of Incant spells anyways, I guess. I do have the Space Prisms. That might get awkward. I think I'll just play, oh no, Rally. Well, it's just Dazed, it doesn't really matter. It's not the Harvest thingy. Okay, I got lucky. So, I do have Transcend Imp now. And I can get Transcend Imp to die here, because I did not play Welder Helper yet. And I wanna kinda start supercharging Transcend Imp, right? So I need to play the Fledgling. I'm probably gonna get rallied next turn though. Yeah, but giving this floor some rage is nice, but the other ones would make it so that these dudes don't survive to kill him, so I can really only play this, and it doesn't really matter really which way you play around. Oh, yeah, it already played the queens. Okay. Had I? Yes, I had to kill the... okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a misplay. But it's fine, because this was a rally floor anyways. And let's just play this here. So now the question becomes... no, it doesn't make sense to play this twice. What I could do is just take the damage on this dude. And because if I play a unit there, it's gonna be bad. And what I can then do is play this and just remove that dude from the game. And now I'm guaranteed that the endless imp will spawn next turn, or will get drawn next turn. And I can just play this here and murder that floor, so that's fine. But now he doesn't die. There's some problems with this run. Didn't play the fledgling imp there, which is kind of fine. I'm not sure if I want to play the armor imp yet, but I think I will play it. And I think I'll play this here. And I guess I might as well just do something like that. Did not even think to check whether those dudes died, and they do not. So I might be in trouble here. Okay, this is just rally. What I can do is, so there's a couple options here. I'm gonna play an Inferno there. I have a bunch of extra energy too, so I could play Inferno and Antumbra Assault, but that gives me morsels, which I don't want. But I do want to play the this imp on this floor, right? Yeah, I can play it like this. Okay, yeah. Since it's just for spells, it doesn't really matter too much. And, well, he gives armor, right? So I'm just gonna not F around there. And I'll just give him some damage. And maybe give some health or more damage. And I can actually play a more... I could have just played those morsels there then. Okay, so now I'm looking for ways to remove the Transcend Imp, and I don't know, I think it doesn't really matter, and these also help me scale my Transcend Imp, so yeah, okay, I got Antumbra Assault here. I can play these, and I think it makes sense to play the Rage Imp here. So I'm guaranteed to get the Endless Armor Imp and the Endless Transcend Imp, which will both cost 3 next turn. And I was guaranteed to get this. Now the way you want to play this is you play this one, and you play this one in the back, because you don't want him to take all the armor, and then you play the Transcend Imp and get a bunch of extra rage and a bunch of extra armor. So the thing is, every time you play one of those other units, it starts to add up what the Transcend Imp is gonna do. So Inferno is not really a big deal, big part of my plan, but it's a bit of a, if everything goes wrong, I still have Inferno in some situations kind of thing. Yeah, so this is an okay spell. This is a ridiculous spell, but it costs 3. I'm gonna need to go to a spell shop anyways, because I want to hold over important work to make the whole armor imp stuff more easy to play. Trample is also kinda nuts though, but I'm not sure. Because I have 3 units that hit once, and I have the Transcend Imp doing all of that stuff that the other imps already do. I think Last Stand is a lot stronger here. It's another consume card too. I'm not sure, because I'm gonna get some extra blight cards in the final battle. So you'd want draw to mitigate that. All my imps are free, by the way, and I have extra energy, so okay, it's draw. Because I have extra energy from 2 sources, potentially. And it's really gonna pivot on if I get hold over here, I think. And I got it. So this is the perfect imp run, to be honest. Magic power and consume on a plink, it's fine. -1 on a Last Stand makes a lot of sense. I don't have money enough to reroll and get another -1, which is a bit sad, I guess. So the question here is, do you remove Queen's Implinks? And I think the answer has to be yes, because they really don't deal enough damage, and I have the Molting Imps to buff the Transcend Imp up enough, I think. And they just delay how fast I get my important cards, which is gonna be Transcend Imp, Welder Helper, and Important Work. And at the start it's gonna be better to replay Welder Helper more often, and then once you have like a couple of plays of Welder Helper, you just put them on a different floor where he just dies automatically, and you get to play him for 1 energy instead, and then you just start scaling with Transcend Imp. So that's the plan. But I could just get this thing. Oh my god. There's like no way this isn't the strongest thing that I can pick right here. Okay. So now the only question is, which do you want to do more? Welder Helper or Transcend Imp? Well, I might have to think about the floor space thing. So this is a pretty scary battle, and if I leak them, the spikes aren't always as scary on your units, either they survive, because this time I have some pretty tanky units, right? The main problem, well, they're not tanky enough actually to survive all those rounds of spikes, but you might have some heals or whatever, but the problem is when they leak, they deal extra damage. So this is now 15 damage to the pyre, and I don't like that, and I don't really need the money here. I just want to dupe something, maybe remove some imps. Okay, it's pretty nuts here already. Yeah, playing top floor doesn't make sense because it got size reduced, and I do want to play this in front. I think I play the imp first. Okay. I don't think I Last Stand here. I think I'd rather... Okay, this one is probably better over there. This is a problematic thing that I'm looking at. But Last Standing only gives him 4 rage right now, so that's not gonna happen. I'll play it here. I don't know, this doesn't really matter, top floor or mid or bottom floor. And I got a bit unlucky with the no space prisms yet. So okay, how I can play this is make sure that I can play Transcend Imp next round. So I sacrifice Transcend Imp on the bottom floor and make sure that he has Molting Imp. Oh, Molting Imp doesn't deal enough to kill this backliner either. It's gonna be pretty tricky. Pretty tricky. but I can play him twice next turn. Let's start like this and this and just play this. Yes. So I guess I'm just gonna play Transcend Imp already. And this makes some sense, and this makes some sense. And I can just sacrifice these on the bottom floor. So now I get a Welder Helper next turn and the Transcend Imp next turn, which means that I get to exponentially start scaling his armor. The problem is that there's a 160 dude going through right now. And yeah, that wave is just unreasonably hard, if you ask me. I have some options here, because I do have 4 energy, right? I have 5 energy, 6 energy. Right, it's kind of sad that you don't have an overview of the summon effects that he already does. And playing it like this is probably smarter. So the question is, do you just play him top floor once and then mid floor? Let's just have this dude die, by the way. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was kind of bad, I think. So this is 40, more than 40 damage. Oh, okay, you can see that it... I think I misplayed pretty badly there. But at least the next one is gonna be less of a problem. So I lost most of my fire health there. Oh right, I have that queen that does that. So I can just play this there then. And play you here. And I think I'll just double play the Transcend Imp actually. And because now I have the extra energy, I have a bit more leeway. So I'm just gonna accept that I lost all that damage. Yeah, get some energy. Don't really need the energy, but the extra energy makes me able to play my turn in more different ways. So now I can actually really go nuts with this. And I want to play this before, actually. So, and I'll just murder that floor, because why not? And I can actually do something like that, and whatever. Doesn't really matter. So this battle is won. Let's just play the Space Prison. So you kind of want to play the Transcendent Blast, because he gets extra buffed by the other imps that you play. So in terms of damage we don't deal that much, even though we played all those rage imps. Yeah, I'm gonna get that card next turn, I think. So a problem here is that you have 2 endless units and a holdover card. So your progression through your deck is very slow. Which means that I'm not seeing the last stand. So maybe I need to permafrost that thing. So even these dudes, which I just summoned, got all that rage. And if you don't know, rage gives you 2 damage per stack. So 38 rage gave me 76 damage. Um, I don't think these make sense, because I want to simplify my deck even further. A cave-in might make sense if you think about those units passing by. I do need more spells to consume, I guess. Or do I? So the endless imps is a good way to bypass it. So the important work isn't even that important, it's just extra turns of Transcend Imp. The more important thing is to get those space prisms out there, and I think it's gonna be big to just duplicate Transcend Imp, really. So if I don't have any spells at the end and just play the units, it's still very strong. So duplicating Transcend Imp here is gonna be the thing. And where is he? And here we might get double summon abilities, or we get something else that is nuts. But I also get that thing, units extra upgrade slot, but then I don't have unit upgrades here, so that doesn't matter. This is just pretty stupid for a relic. It's just a +5/+5, which I guess is nice if you have that unit that has the fuel, but it's so unimpactful. It's pretty stupid, I think, this relic, because it also can derp out your setup if you don't think about that you lose a space to this Marshal. But if you do think about it, you can just play around it. But I don't think this is very good. So at the start of, I think that's poor English there, at the start of your turn, or of the turn, of a turn, it seems like there's a word missing there. Add a random imp unit to hand. I guess they're referring to turn and hand as kind of defined entities within the game, so at the start of turn. But it's broken English if you ask me. But it's alright, I don't really care. So I can purge a card here. Since I got all those free imps as well, it's just... and I get to consume those anyways. Yeah, maybe I should have duped Space Prism to be able to play that faster. But it's... oh, yeah, there's still a magic shop there, but I have 0 gold, so it doesn't really make sense to look at it. I think this might be a 1 run, but it might also not be. It's kinda gonna depend. Oh, so the first wave is like that. But the thing is, I get to deal 20 damage to the entire floor now, because of the queen. So what I'm gonna want to do is not jump block with every unit here. Because this... yeah, okay, that murders at least the annoying dudes. But it's still super hairy, because I'm gonna take a bunch of... oh my god. Yeah, that's a bunch of damage that I'm taking there. So now the question is, how do you play this out? Because I can play the Molting Imp here. I already played a Consume card. Random Warrior still makes sense regardless. I need an imp on this floor to kill the backliners, okay? This is 15 damage, which would make sure that this always kills me. Right now it's 3 hits of 10, which doesn't kill me. Can I take that further down? Do I have to take it further down? I think it's okay to play this here, so I can get some damage on that maybe. And I think I play, wait, yeah, I play this and this, and that's not enough. So I'll play some more damage like that. It's very scary if you ask me. Okay, I did draw this and this, which means good times are ahead. But how am I gonna play this out? Because this does currently 20 damage. I could play a Rage Imp here. Give him 3 more Rage, which means 6 more damage is 11. It's not enough to take him. Oh, and then this dude also does more damage. So that would only make me take 2 hits. And then 1 hit from that if I don't get to kill it next turn. So that's kinda good. And now over here, I already played an Armor Imp, and this dude does the thingy when he dies, so I'll jump block that. And then play some more armor here. So now the good thing about this whole setup is that I have infinity energy now. The question is, do you want to play this right now and just go nuts with your damage scaling, or do you want to play it later? I think 6 damage here is always useful. Well, my progression through the deck is gonna be sufficiently slowed that I might not want to play it later, and I might not need to play it later. The question is, how nuts is my armor gonna get? I think it's good to play it now, because then maybe he gets some kills later on. So that's 20 damage. Okay, double Transcend Imp and an Armor Imp and the Space Prism. So consume the Space Prism, play the Armor Imp, play 1 and 2. And that's just the nuts. And then over here, I think you play this, guaranteed. And I think you even play this. And then just blink this. Let's go. Oh. Whatever. So this is a pretty strong setup, if you ask me. Now, I do have 3 space. And I do want to play armor. Armor doesn't make sense there. I don't have more Space Prisms, right? Yeah. So I think you play just another Rage dude here. And well, once I play a Transcend Imp, it's gonna go nuts, right? Because I get all the energy in the world. And I think this is the time. So I have two endless Transcend Imps and 1 endless Welder Helper here. And I have 3 Imps. Oh, that was nice. And I have a way to remove them for free. So the only question is, where do I play all these fledgling Imps? And I now have... Oh, I really don't want to accidentally play one on front. That would just... Well, it doesn't really matter too much. But it would cost me a bit. I think it doesn't really matter, but I do want to keep this floor. So I think I'll just play that here and let's go. So I already took down 1000 of his health because he starts with 4000 before he even spawned. Well, close to 1000. And here we go, here we go. Play the other imps first and then start using these. So for those of you who don't know, having this amount of armor is very strong. And I'm just consuming those cards because whatever. And just for the lols, I'm gonna play this battle out to see how much damage I can get like this. So if you think about it, if I had kept a rage doubler, it wouldn't have mattered, right? So this is a silly run. Sometimes you just get these silly runs and it's just a matter of whether you recognize how silly this run is and then win the game. I don't think the Brandon Warrior was really big in this run. It was just the imps doing all the work. You could have substituted with any other unit. Maybe the quick helped with the survivability in the earlier rounds, but I don't think even that was a thing. He only got some kills later on once everybody was already having like 50 rage or whatever. So it's I don't know, I like these kind of runs with imps. Imps are pretty interesting in my opinion. And Transcend Imp is just a crazy card. There's a bunch more summon abilities. For instance, the Awoken Clan, they have a unit, they have 2 units that get extra health when summoned. So if you play those units once or maybe even a couple of times, you could put Endless on it and use a way to kill it and to replay it. But those summon abilities also apply to Transcend Imp, so you could get one with a potentially insane health pool that you would still need to heal up because it's empty health that gets added. But you could also use Adaptive Mutation on such a unit and end up with a... I had one run where I had double summon abilities and I just summoned the Awoken Hollow ones, which gives 60 extra health on summon, but that health doesn't get filled up. But then I used Transcend Imp and just gave him Adaptive Mutation, and it was pretty much a free 120 unit. I didn't even give him multi-strike or whatever, I just duped it and got like 3 backline units with 120 damage, which was enough for that game. But yeah, you can get some crazy things with summon abilities. I'll look at the run summary to see what happened here. Well, yeah, there wasn't a lot of relics. I was very poor because I didn't do any trials. Maybe I was too scared of some of the trials, but I just weighed out whether they would help me or just create more risks, and so I decided against all of the trials in this run. Some people might argue that you sometimes just have to take the trials or else you won't scale enough for the end game, but once I recognized that the Welder Helper would be a good pickup, because I skipped the first one, so maybe I didn't deserve to win it, but whatever. Yeah, it was really nuts, especially with the Queen upgrade on the final upgrade, with it removing the imps automatically, because I did upgrade the important work, but I had kind of forgotten about the Seraph, the Diligent, I believe it's called, the one that consumes the first spell played. I had kind of forgotten about it by then, because against any other seraph it's always a good choice to put holdover on this card. But with the endless imps, it really reduces your draw. So if I hadn't taken that draw, it would have been very bad. If I hadn't taken this space, I would have basically had to manage with one less unit, which would be one less. I would have then needed to put multi-strike on something or whatever. So I think the way I played this was pretty much optimized for the situation, but I don't know. I think in general I don't pay enough attention to the things that are ahead of me, and I tend to just focus a lot on the next problems ahead, and maybe that's a bit bad sometimes. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'd like to see you again. Goodbye.